When you look at the historical account of the examples of the deliverance and salvation of the Lord's people, it becomes quite evident that the Lord, as a general rule, does not deliver his people until they get to the point of utter desperation, where they are completely heavily oppressed and cry out to be delivered. Surely the most famous and most known example is the Egyptian slavery. The people of Israel prospered in Goshen, multiplied very quickly and abundantly, and the Egyptians started fearing them. They became a great people. They enslaved them. But that wasn't enough. Then they kept multiplying so well, they had to start throwing their babies down the river. The murder of countless Hebrew children. Then that wasn't enough. So they had to make their labor harder. And it really was only after a while, when the Israelites were heavily enslaved, heavily oppressed, when they themselves cried out their agony, their pain, their suffering, their torment, when they cried out to be delivered, is when the Lord brought forth a deliverer. And actually I said that the oppression got worse. Well, that actually happened after the Lord sent a deliverer, if you remember the story. They cried out, the Lord sent Moshe, and when Moshe came to Pharaoh, Pharaoh said, it's because you're lazy that you want this deliverance to go and sacrifice to your God. Make the work harder. Now you gotta make bricks without straw. Get your own straw. So you think of this formula. The Lord does not just deliver us because we don't want to be delivered. That's the truth. You think the Israelites wanted to be delivered? No. And you know this because even after the deliverance, all we wanted to do was go back. Were there not enough graves in Egypt that you brought us here to this desert to die? Oh, we want to go back to Egypt. We had watermelon and meat. They kept grumbling against God and his servant. And that was after they actually asked to be delivered because the oppression was so hard. But it doesn't matter because as soon as you get a little relief, you want to go back. It's like the abusive husband syndrome, right? The abused wife. Oh, he's not that bad. I can't take it anymore. I'm leaving you. Oh, I miss him. He doesn't know what he's doing. He loves me. I can help him. It was a mistake to come back. I knew I should have stayed away. Oh, but I want to go back to him. See, it's that syndrome of abused women. You keep coming back under the oppressive hand. You don't know what's good for you. And then you see, of course, the book of Judges. Again, the Israelites did what was evil in the sight of the Lord, so he brought them under the oppression. And there's a whole list, 6, 7, 8 times, the book of Judges, the Midianites, the Moabites, the Ammonites, the Gilgashites, the Philistines, you name it. And then they cry out to Adonai, he sends them a deliverer. You got Gideon, you got Samson, you got Barak, you got Deborah, you got Ohad, you got so many, right? And in their lifetime, the land had peace for 40 years or 80 years, and as soon as they die, the people of Israel go back to their evil ways. Oh, we want to go back to Pharaoh now. We want to go back to the Baalim and the Asherah poles. And then they go right back into their slavery. And when it gets bad enough, they cry out for deliverance. It's that cycle. So now, let's focus on present day. Because we are far from desperation, aren't we? Oh, sure, we really are uncomfortable. We like to complain, but all in all, especially the people in Israel, they're having a good time, aren't they? They're having their businesses and their gay parades. They're having their nice villas. They're going on trips every Shabbat up north to the Galil and the Jordan River, and they're having their little festivals, and we got the grocery stores and the AliExpress and Timo mail deliveries, and they're having a good time. Oh, sure, we get some sirens every now and then, and a few people die here and there. But nobody really cares. You go to the mall and forget about your trouble. You go to the coffee shops. You go to your cannabis deliveries. You go to your liquor stores and your bars and your nightclubs. And you forget about your troubles. You're nowhere near ready for deliverance, because you haven't even acknowledged the fact that you need it. You don't even know that you're a slave yet. Oh, sure, we talk about it, right? We tell you about the digital currency and the social security and the passport and the immigration control and border control and banks and, fees and interest and socials, all of that stuff. Yeah, of course you're a slave, but you don't really care that much. See, this is like the beginning of Pharaoh. When the Israelites were multiplying and he's like, we got to control them. They're becoming too many. Well, isn't that what the system does? We got to control them. Let's put social security numbers on them. Let's identify them, put them in the system. Keep a lock and grid on them. Let's put some surveillance cameras. Let's monitor their footprint, their carbon footprint. Let's listen in on their conversations, monitor their move. And you can see how that is exactly the point that we are in history. This is just the beginning of slavery. We are far from the worst of it. Because what is going to happen soon enough is depopulation. When the system realizes, well, there's just too many of them, and and they already started that, COVID was no accident. Depopulation, let's weed them out. That was wave one. We got to depopulate, there's too many people. It's hard to control such a massive amount, and they don't want so many people. Sure, they want slaves, but not that many. And that is exactly what is going to happen first. Deliverance is way off. It's way in the distant future before Mashiach comes. Why would he come? You're not even ready to call on him. You don't even realize you're a slave yet. So bear this in mind. Yeshua said, you will not see me again until you say, Baruch haba b'shem Adonai. Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. We're not there yet. You don't care for God. In fact, you hate it when we preach at you. Many people in Israel, stop with this preaching. That's a thing of the past. We don't want no preaching. Well, Israel, for the most part, is a liberal state. Secular. They're not ready for God. They don't want God, so why would he deliver them? That wouldn't make any sense. So keep this in your thoughts and prayers. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. See, nowadays people throw their own babies in the river, abort them. But you just wait until the system does that. And in fact, I do believe that they began. All of these chemicals they put in your food and cause you to miscarry. Many women nowadays have fertility issues. I've known personally a whole bunch of them that had such terrible time having a baby. Infertility, it's a part of the curse. And a lot of it is because of the poisoning they do to you. Or the geoengineering, the aluminum, the stuff they put in your water, the GMOs, the toxicity. It's all part of it. Make it harder for you to procreate. And then they give vaccinations with all kinds of things in them to disrupt the lives of your children. All of these cancers and autisms and all of these things that happen, they were not existent in the past. This is new, all because of the chemicals. Well, there you have it. History repeats itself. So get ready. It's gonna get a lot worse before it gets better. Remember that.